right, so we are here with Northern Illinois head coach Rob Harley. How's your first Mountain West Media Days been treating you?
It's been good. This has been not that I was expecting anything less or more or whatever, but it's been a cool setup and a cool experience. It's a big stage, physically, and just from the scope of things and the turnout by all of you guys has been awesome. They've been talking about 2 less teams in the conference going at 10 now, and a bigger showing in media and people that want to come out and cover it. So it's been very welcoming. You can feel that right away, and so it's been exciting.
Awesome. It's awesome to hear. All right, so first question has to be about the addition of quarterback Taron Dickens. How did that process go about, and is there any chance he's ready to go for Week 1 against Iowa?
Yeah, well, I think it's right place, right time. He was on a different path to start, and it just kind of aligned that fell through, and I think with what he's looking for in a next opportunity, aligned with our opportunity that we had, and he's going to have to come and compete. I think any of our quarterbacks are going to be ready in Week 1, and they got to go and show that they're the guy. And so there's nothing better to me, especially at that position, than competition. And we've talked to all those guys about what the thought process is in creating a variety of different experience levels in that room. So we have as many bullets to fire when we need to go out and play a season.
For sure.
So I'm looking forward to the competition. Whoever comes out of that room is damn sure the guy who's ready to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is a very fun quarterback room because like all four of especially with Dickens now, like all 4 of those guys are kind of different journeys, kind of different skill sets.
Yep. Now you have a variety. And that's I think what you're searching for. I mean, we learned that, no pun intended, the hard way last year. We played 3 guys. From injury and different things that happened. If you just have one, you're probably in deep trouble.
Yeah.
So it gives us a chance to have a little bit of depth and, again, a competition.
Absolutely. So Telly Johnson Jr. is one of the top returning running backs in the Mountain West this year. I believe him and Jaden Thomas from UNLV are the only backs coming off back-to-back seasons with over 100 carries. How much is the offense going to be relying on him to be the engine of that side?
Well, obviously, in what Telly's done from a production standpoint, but I would tell you that, too, just from the way he's carrying himself off the field, he's continuing to grow there, which I think impacts your production moving forward. And, and you're going to want to run the ball. That's every offense in the country. I don't care if they're spread. You want to establish the run. You're going to have to be able to run the ball at some point. So everything we do is going to be to answer that question. Can we run the ball when we want to? And so he's going to be at the forefront of that as well as some other running backs in that room.
Absolutely. So the defense had some great moments last year, but did ultimately struggle at getting to the quarterback. Have you guys altered anything schematically to change that? And is there any specific players you're counting on to drive that sack total up? I know Ja'Shawn Thomas, when I interviewed him, he mentioned that, like, I asked him a similar question. He said, like, everything is different. Like, the pass rushing plan is completely different. So, yeah, could you go into that a little bit?
I think we're just trying to give those guys a chance to be turned loose. We brought in some guys as well, some other veteran guys with some experience, and that their skill set fits maybe a little bit more of that pass rushing. And I think we just got to continue to coach it better, and we got to continue to find what those strengths are, and then let those guys go eat. And so we've tried to turn them loose a little bit, and that ultimately that is going to define how good you play. You know what I'm saying? And being able to get out the quarterback. It's the number. We just talked about the quarterback room on our side. On the flip side, on your opponent, it's the number 1 position on the field. And if you can affect them, you got a chance to beat them.
Absolutely. So you took over for Thomas Hammock as the head coach in February, adding yet another wrinkle to Northern Illinois' transition to the Mountain West here. Over the last few months, what have you focused on in terms of connecting and uniting the whole team with all these outside factors that are changing? And I know us versus them has been thrown around a lot.
Oh yeah. So we adopted that pretty quickly. Just kind of just came about in terms of being the mantra because of kind of whatever we came out with. We had a chance to meet with all 96 players, like an 18-hour deal that to meet everyone face to face, which I thought was important and needed to happen, right? But I just think what came out of that is okay. Hey, this is us moving forward. And then it kind of was like, all right, well, this is us versus them, whoever that is. And I think that in itself helps the transition when it's not just like about one thing. It's about us being together, and everywhere we move, It's trying to be together, and that's been the focus the whole time. And so it's kind of taken the focus off anything else. This is a unique time anyway. I mean, it's not 9 games in. It's February when the transition happens. So the guys have been awesome. I haven't been able to do it by myself, obviously. It's the support we got from the players and everybody in the building.
Absolutely. All right. So last question here. I built an app where like I've projected out the depth charts for all the Mountain West teams, and I do have to tell you I've lost a lot of sleep trying to figure out your safety rotation. So with the room being comprised of 3 transfers from Division II, 2 from the FCS, senior Malik Armstrong, and some freshmen. Like, can you help me out here? Like, what's the order of the safeties looking like right now?
Well, again, they're going to go compete.
Yeah.
And so I hate to be preemptive with that. But it's going to be, I think you got some versatile guys that could end up be playing into the boundary and into the field. And so it's I don't want to say far from set, but I think we want to find what the best rotation is, and those guys communicating together. And again, remember, 3 of those guys are brand new, and so they've gotten 15 practices under their belt. So that's not even to say we're hiding anything. We got to go and communicate for another 23, 25 practices. You know what I'm saying? To really get that bond,
to figure out what's going on.
We'll know a lot more of that, and you'll see that on September 5th. We'll release that moving forward into that week. But I think there's still more meat on the bone, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. All right. Head coach Rob Harley of Northern Illinois, thank you so much for the time.
Thanks, buddy.
Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, pleasure to meet you.
Easy.